You know that feeling when you finish an anime, immediately search for season 2 and find nothing? Just forum posts from 2014 asking the same question. For over a decade, fans have been asking, where's season 2 for some of the most acclaimed anime ever made? Stories that ended mid-sentence. Cliffhangers that never resolved. Characters whose journeys were cut brutally short. Today, we're ranking the 10 most infamous examples. Anime so good, so popular, and so maddeningly incomplete that their absence has become legendary. And if you're tired of getting emotionally invested in shows that ghost you harder than your high school crush, hit that subscribe button, because this channel is your guide to what's actually worth watching. Let's count down the biggest what could have been stories in anime history. Starting at number 10, we have High School of the Dead. And this one hits differently because it wasn't market forces that killed this series. It was real-world tragedy. This 2010 zombie apocalypse anime had everything. Spectacular action from Studio Madhouse, direction by the guy who'd go on to make Attack on Titan, and genuinely tense survival horror. A group of high school students fighting through a world overrun by zombies, dealing with both the undead and the far more dangerous living. Now, yes, this show is infamous for its, let's call it, creative interpretation of physics, particularly involving bullet trajectories and the female anatomy. The fan service is so over the top it could power a small city. But beneath all that, there was a legitimately compelling survival story. The problem? Author Daisuke Sato passed away in 2017, leaving the manga forever incomplete at just 7 volumes. The illustrator has stated he won't continue the story without his creative partner, a decision rooted in deep respect for his colleague's vision. So while the anime ends with the group preparing to face new threats at a shopping mall, with the broader collapse of civilization just beginning to unfold, we'll never know how this story was meant to end. It's not just incomplete, it's frozen in time. A permanent reminder that sometimes the real world writes the saddest endings. At number 9, Baccano is here for a different reason. See, this 2007 masterpiece doesn't need a sequel to feel complete. Its 16-episode run is a perfectly self-contained puzzle box of a story. Set in Prohibition-era America, it weaves together 3 timelines featuring immortal alchemists, mafia wars, and a pair of lovable idiot thieves who accidentally become the glue holding the whole chaotic narrative together. The non-linear storytelling is brilliant. The jazz soundtrack is iconic, and it has arguably the greatest English dub ever made. So why is it on this list? Because the anime adapted only the first 4 volumes of a light novel series that currently has 22 volumes. We're talking about 80% of this sprawling epic sitting there, untouched. Stories that dive into the 1700s origins of the Immortals, modern-day storylines set in 2002, and gang wars that make the anime look like the prologue. The reason we'll probably never see it? Despite being a massive cult hit in the West, Baccano sold poorly in Japan. The later novels are even more complex, with more characters and more timelines, which would make adaptation incredibly expensive. The tragedy is that the show was too good at being self-contained. It didn't leave you desperate enough, and the industry made you pay for that satisfaction. Number 8 is Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash, the anti-isekai isekai. This 2016 series asked, what if being transported to a fantasy world actually sucked? What if you couldn't one-shot goblins? What if killing something, even a monster, left you traumatized? What if you were just weak? The show follows a party of leftovers, the kids nobody else wanted, struggling to kill a single goblin to afford bread. The animation was gorgeous, with watercolor backgrounds that made the world feel like a living painting. And when the party's charismatic leader dies suddenly in an ambush, the show tackles grief in a way most action anime wouldn't dare. This was the thinking person's isekai, airing the same season as ReZero and Konosuba. Unfortunately, it got buried by those louder, flashier shows. To make matters worse, the art studio responsible for those stunning backgrounds, Atelier Pont d'Arc, went out of business. The light novels continue, with over 20 volumes taking the party into increasingly bizarre and dangerous places like the Dusk Realm, a dimension that would have been a visual spectacle. But the combination of niche appeal and logistical nightmares means we're unlikely to see Haruhiro's party again. Sometimes the quiet shows get drowned out by the screaming ones. Yona of the Dawn, our number 7, is the shoujo that refused to stay in its lane, and we love it for that. What starts as a girl watching her cousin murder her father and seize the throne quickly evolves into a full-blown political epic. Princess Yona goes from sheltered and pampered to a capable warrior and leader, gathering the 4 legendary dragon warriors to reclaim her kingdom. The 24-episode anime aired in 2014 and adapted the first 8 volumes of the manga. Here's the problem. The manga currently has over 45 volumes and is still ongoing. The anime ends exactly when the main party is finally assembled. It's like if Lord of the Rings ended when the Fellowship was formed and then said, okay, go read the books for the actual quest. The sequel never came because the anime did its job too well as a commercial. Manga sales exploded, which was the whole point for the production committee. The Blu-rays sold poorly in Japan, so from a business perspective, mission accomplished. No need for season 2. But what we're missing is everything. The actual political intrigue, Yona confronting poverty, corruption, and war, her evolution as a leader, the slow burn romance with Hack that could melt glaciers. All of it, sitting there in the manga, unfilmed. The anime was just the appetizer. The main course is still waiting. Okay, number 6 is Spice and Wolf, and here's where we get a rare happy ending. For 15 years, this was the poster child for sequel-less classics. A medieval merchant and a 600-year-old wolf goddess traveling together, falling in love, and making economics genuinely fascinating. The chemistry between Lawrence and Hollow is legendary. Witty banter, emotional vulnerability, and some of the best romantic tension in anime. 2 seasons aired in 2008 to 2009, adapting just 5 of the 17 main light novels, plus all the sequel stories. The show ends with their journey barely started, the highest stakes unresolved, and fans screaming into the void. But in 2024, the impossible happened. A full reboot called Merchant Meets the Wise Wolf started airing, committed to adapting the complete story. Why is it still on this list? Because it spent a decade and a half being the ultimate example of a deserved sequel that never came. Its inclusion is both a memorial to its long suffering and a celebration that sometimes, persistence pays off. And hey, if you're enjoying this descent into anime pain, do me a favor, drop a like, and let me know in the comments which of these hurt you the most. Or if there's a sequelless anime I missed that still keeps you up at night. Your suffering fuels the algorithm, and I appreciate that. At number 5, Magi, The Labyrinth of Magic, is a sprawling shonen epic inspired by 1001 Nights. This series starts as a fun adventure, conquering magical dungeons, gaining djinn powers, classic stuff. But it steadily evolves into a complex saga about war, economics, slavery, and the nature of destiny itself. It's Game of Thrones with magic carpets. 2 seasons aired between 2012 and 2014, and they were great. Vibrant world building, a huge cast, and political intrigue that respected the audience's intelligence. Then it stopped. At chapter 198, the manga has 369 chapters. We never got the Alma Turan arc, the massive flashback revealing the origins of the world, magic, and King Solomon. Fans universally agree this is the best part of the entire manga. The anime stopped right before the peak. Why no season 3? Money, complexity, and possibly waning interest in Japan. Adapting the final arcs would have been expensive, and the risk didn't seem worth it to the committee. It's like being handed the first half of The Lord of the Rings and being told, if you want to know if they destroy the ring, buy the books. Number 4 is Noragami, and this one stings because everything was going so well. A broke minor god doing odd jobs for 5 yen coins. A high school girl whose soul keeps falling out of her body. A dead teenager turned divine weapon. Together, they form one of the best found family dynamics in anime, brought to life by the legendary Studio Bones. 2 seasons, stellar animation, perfect mix of action, comedy, and heartfelt drama. The second season, Arigoto, aired in 2015, and tackled Yato's bloody past and his conflict with Bishamon, the god of war. The problem? The manga authors took a long health hiatus, stalling momentum. And while Arigoto was critically acclaimed, Blu-ray sales dropped compared to season 1. In the ruthless market of mid-2010s anime, that was a death sentence. But here's the kicker. The manga just finished in January 2024. The complete story, all 27 volumes, is ready to adapt. The main antagonist, Yato's father, the secrets of the Divine Realm, Yato and Hiyori's relationship pushed to its limits. All of it is there, waiting. A 3rd season isn't just deserved. With a finished manga, it's now viable. We're in the era of revivals, so there's hope. Faint, flickering hope. The bronze medal goes to Claymore, the female berserk. And this one is special because it doesn't need a sequel, it needs a reboot. A dark medieval world, humanity hunted by shape-shifting demons. An organization that creates half-human, half-demon warriors to fight them. Claire, the weakest of these Claymores, on a quest for revenge against the monster that killed her mentor. For 11 volumes, the 2007 anime adaptation was faithful and brutal and beautiful. Then, in its final 2 episodes, it committed an unforgivable sin. It made up its own ending. To wrap things up in 1 season, they staged a premature showdown between Claire and her target, Priscilla. It was rushed, shallow, and fundamentally misunderstood the story's power scaling. The manga was only halfway done. The manga concluded in 2014 with 27 volumes. The unadapted half includes the legendary War in the North arc, a 7-year time skip, the shocking truth about the organization, and the actual climax the story was building toward. The anime original ending makes a direct sequel impossible. The only path forward is the Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood route, a complete, faithful reboot. Dark fantasy fans have been waiting nearly 2 decades. We're still waiting. Silver medal. Deadman Wonderland, the king of cliffhangers. Ganta's entire class is murdered by a mysterious Red Man. He's framed for the crime and sent to a prison that doubles as a twisted theme park where inmates fight to the death for entertainment. Inside, he discovers he can control his blood as a weapon and must fight in secret gladiator matches to survive. The premise is incredible. The 2011 anime was dark, bloody, stylish, and built one of the most compelling mysteries in the genre. Who is the Red Man? What is Shiro's connection to Ganta's past? What is the prison really hiding? And then, at episode 12, it just stops. Not at a satisfying conclusion, not even at the end of an arc. It stops mid-conspiracy, right as Ganta overhears Shiro humming the same lullaby the Red Man sang during the massacre. Roll credits. Silence. Nothing. The manga finished in 2013. It has all the answers. The identity of the Red Man, Shiro's tragic past, the truth behind the Tokyo earthquake, a climactic final battle, everything. But the anime studio Manglobe went bankrupt in 2015. The original team is gone. This is sequel Blue Balls elevated to an art form, a story that is all set up and zero payoff. The only solution is a reboot by a new studio, and until that happens, Deadman Wonderland remains the ultimate go-read-the-manga anime. And finally, the undisputed champion. The meme, the legend. Number 1 is No Game, No Life. 2 genius gamer siblings, Sora and Shiro, are summoned to a fantasy world where everything is decided by games. Their goal? Unite all 16 races and challenge God himself. The 2014 anime was a phenomenon. Stunning, neon-soaked visuals, creative, intellectually stimulating games, charismatic protagonists. It was a smash hit, beloved worldwide. 12 episodes adapted the first 3 light novels. There are currently 12 plus volumes. A movie adapted volume 6. That leaves a mountain of content sitting there. And the final episode? It ends on a massive cliffhanger. Sora and Shiro summon a representative of the Old Deus, one of the most powerful races, and challenge them. Screen cuts to black. Season 2 coming soon. That was 10 years ago. Why no sequel? The author has serious recurring health issues, slowing new releases. There were plagiarism accusations over traced art. And despite massive international popularity, it's reportedly not a top priority for the Japanese market. But here's what makes it number 1. The demand has never died. NGNL Season 2 When is a running joke that's become a cultural institution. New fans watch it just to understand the meme, then join the chorus demanding more. It's a feedback loop of hope and despair. The perfect storm. The white whale. And until it returns, if it ever does, No Game No Life will remain the gold standard of anime that left us hanging. So there you have it, 10 incredible anime that promised us the world and left us with half a map. Some, like Spice and Wolf, found redemption. Others, like High School of the Dead, face insurmountable tragedy. But here's the thing, we're living in the age of anime revivals. Bleach came back, Fruits Basket got a full reboot, Spice and Wolf returned after 15 years. The industry is slowly learning that dedicated fan bases and completed source material have long-term value. So never say never. Keep demanding. Keep watching. Keep hoping. And if you want more anime deep dives, rankings, and recommendations, check out my top 10 anime collection playlist. It's packed with lists covering every genre, from psychological thrillers to wholesome slice of life. There's something for everyone, and I guarantee you'll find your next obsession. Until then, thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes the best stories are the ones that haunt us with what could have been. See you in the next one.